Ladies, gentlemen, Speakerhead Squad, what's going on? It's your boy Speakerhead, and welcome back to another video. So I've been playing on this private world of mine ever since Palworld first came out and have more or less kept the same setup for all this time. I mean, I did reorganize some things here and there, but they've mostly kept the same layout for all this time. And while my bases weren't terrible or anything, they definitely got the job done. Some of them were pretty sloppy, especially my farm base. So since I wanted to make my bases a bit more organized, I figured it was about time to remake my entire farm base. And now that I'm pretty much done building everything I wanted to at this base, I figured I'd give you all a tour and show you all what I did. But before we get on with the video, just a friendly reminder that if you enjoy any of the music you hear during this video or just want to support the channel in general, it's all part of my DMCA free music label, Speakerhead Studios. This is a music label I created and run where all the songs in it are completely DMCA free, so go ahead and use any of these tracks for your content creating needs. We currently have over 70 songs available with more added frequently, so if you're interested in checking that out, all the links will be in the description below. Finally, before we go over everything in this mega farm, I do want to mention that even though I have this base set up as a farm, that you could easily make this into an all-in-one base if you really wanted to. In fact, I might structure my other bases in a similar way since I enjoy the design so much. But without wasting any more time, let's actually start going through my new mega farm. Alright, so here we are at the first layer here, and this is where I just keep a lot of my general junk. Starting off with my room, I just kind of put some decorations in here in a bed so that way I can sleep if it's nighttime. But other than that, nothing super crazy in this room, just a nice little room for me at this base. But then moving on to the storage room, this is also pretty basic. It's just got a bunch of chests in here along with the guild chest just to make sure I got plenty of storage for the space. And then on to the next room here, we have my energy room, which I just have one generator and a bunch of accumulators at just to make sure we got plenty of power for the space. I'll admit that the lights really don't waste that much power, but I figured just have all this just in case. And then finally we have our upgrade room, which this one is pretty sloppy, but this is just where we're going to have all of our upgrades for work speed and everything. And as you guys might be able to tell, that these are all underneath staircases, and that's something I really like to do. I like to really utilize those spaces underneath staircases because what else are you really going to use them for? And it's also a great way of kind of hiding a bunch of stuff that you really don't want seen around your base. That's why I have this upgrade one right here, because I don't want all this stuff seen at this base. So it's just a great way of kind of keeping that stuff concealed and hidden so that way other people don't see it in case you're playing on a dedicated server or something like that. And then the very last thing I want to touch on before we move on to the rest of the base is that I do have 4 of these cooling boxes all around just to make sure we got plenty of room for all the crops. But moving on to the rest of the first floor, we do have some crops around. So we have 4 onion crops right here. We've got 4 potato crops over here, 4 lettuce crops in this corner, and then finally some carrots in this very last corner here. And I will mention that these are the only spots that have any of these vegetables because honestly I really just don't use any of these all too often, which is why I only have 4 plots of each of them. But then moving on to the second layer here, and this is where I'm going to have all my berries. This is going to be a 5x5 here with all these berries, so 25 plots in total. And I will admit that this is way more berry plots than I could ever need. I'm honestly selling a lot of my berries a lot of the time, but I figured it's nice to have them for whenever I need cakes or anything like that. But then moving on to the next layer here, we have a lot of our tomato and wheat crops. Right here we have 14 tomato crops, and I will mention that this is mirrored on the other side. And then along here we have 10 total wheat crops, and once again that's mirrored over there as well. Also, for those who are curious why I have so many tomato and wheat crops, it's for making pizzas since I usually sell those to get a lot of gold. But speaking of wheat, we have a lot more up here. Up on this plot, we have another 15 things of wheat just to make sure we got plenty of that, especially since it takes so much to actually make flour. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that on this lower level, we have a total of 8 hot springs just to make sure all of our pals are good on sanity. But then moving on to the final part of the base, and that's where all my pal beds are along with my ranches and high quality springs. So we got 2 ranches up here. I could honestly fit 4 if I really wanted to, but with the amount of pals that I got working on the farms, I really don't have that many more placements for ranches, or for ranch pals I should say. But it definitely is possible to fit a couple more ranches up here if you really wanted to do that. You'd probably just have to take out a couple of these high quality springs. But as you can see by the bed count in the corner, we have a total of 50 beds up here, 45 large ones and 5 small ones. And then in the middle, I just got 2 of these pal dressing facilities for costumes if I really want to put them on, along with a statue of power. I think it really just ties the rest of the room together. I don't know about you guys. But overall, that's going to be the general layout of my base. Once again, nothing super crazy, but I definitely think it's a nice upgrade from what my base used to look like. Also, for those who might have noticed, I have a big old hole in my ceiling, and that's for the simple reason of getting in and out much easier. So I just jump up here, and then I just jump on out, and then I'm free. And also something to mention about where I actually built this base, this has an absolutely beautiful view. Like, you get the view of the volcano, some of the sanctuary islands, the tree, you get the nice snowy mountain, that kind of spot over there. I don't know how to describe it right now, but that cool area. But it's just a really nice place to have a base location. It just looks absolutely beautiful. So you could honestly keep building up and get an even better view if you wanted to. And then we got my chair that I was sitting in at the very beginning. Hello, Mr. Frog chair. And then to kind of end this out, let's quickly hop on Dave here. Everyone meet Dave. He is very cute and special, and he is my favorite. But we're gonna get on Dave here and quickly fly out just so you guys can see the general outside view of this base. And as you can see, everything does fit inside the base. That's why I did cut off the corners, but it does look really nice in my opinion. And then just for funsies, let's quickly get a view of it from the nighttime just so you guys can see it all lit up and everything. Alright, so here's the base at night, and we just gotta get a little closer to actually get the lights on, but I wish the lights worked a little bit better so they actually showed for a farther distance. But overall, it looks pretty nice in my opinion, all lit up and everything. And we'll quickly hop down here, hop off Dave. Also, even at nighttime, you get a pretty beautiful view of everything. I just want to mention, it's just like, I absolutely love this view from the space. But then just a quick look around with all the lights on at night. As you can see, everything's kind of lit up. It's a little wonky with the lighting, but overall, I think the lighting works totally fine on this base. I'll admit that I really just sleep through most nights, so I really don't see the lights most of the time, but I think they get the job done pretty well. And yeah, as you can see down here, also lit nice and well. We only got this one light up here, but it lights up everything for the most part. Like, I really don't need a light in here. I could add a lamp, but I'll even kind of show right now. There, see, even with the lamp, there's really no point of having it. So I figured just the one light is more than enough. Might as well not waste more electricity than we need to, you know, only need one ore circ. But I think that is everything I had to show you guys, so I'll let previous me take over from here. Actually, one last thing I do want to go over, since I completely forgot to mention, is the pals that I actually use at this base. So right here I have all the pals that I use at this base on this page along with this page. For starters, we have 8 Lilines that are fully upgraded. I do plan on making some better ones in the future, but these ones are totally fine for now. And then I also have 5 fully upgraded Lulus as well, since they actually make crops grow a lot faster, and when they're fully upgraded they make them grow really fast. But then moving down from here, we have 5 fully upgraded Gormantides for watering, and these guys do totally fine watering every plant on this thing. And then finally on this page we have all my ranch pals, and these guys I don't really care too much about, because honestly, if I really need any of these resources, I can buy them or quickly farm them from pals. But it is nice to have some pals that are naturally generating these supplies instead of just buying them all the time. And then this other page here is going to have all my transporting pals. So I got a combination of Anubises, we got a bunch of Anubis along with some Wumpos here just for all transporting purposes. And for those who are curious why I use a mixture of both, it's because Wumpos carry a lot more, but they're a lot slower, while Anubises are a lot faster but carry a lot less. So a combination of these two just make sure everything is picked up, especially if the Anubis start to fall behind on picking things up. And I'll be honest, it does happen fairly frequently because these crops are just generated so fast. But I did want to quickly go over all the pals that I have working at my base, since I'm sure some people were curious about what I actually have to make all the gears on this base turn. But I think other than the pals I just went over, that was everything that I really wanted to mention about this base, so I'll let the other me take over from here. And with that, that's gonna wrap up my little tour of my new mega base that I built. I know this video is a bit different than the ones that I normally make, and it's a lot more chill, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also hope I gave some people out there some ideas of what they can do with their bases in the future. But let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this sort of content, and also let me know some of your building tips as well, because I'd really like to hear them. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. I really appreciate you watching the video. So far, the channel support has been fantastic. I really appreciate all you coming and checking out these videos. But other than that, I will catch everyone in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.